All right, thanks so much for coming to the Level Q&A. We have a bunch of people that have been involved in helping create Level. We've got Jimmy Song, Tone Vays, Evan and Jesse from the team, Anthony Pompliano, Josh Rager, and Willy Will. A lot of these guys have been involved in the company for up to 2.5 years. And we want to take this as an opportunity to answer questions about Level to everybody's audience. So moderating this discussion is going to be Anthony Pompliano, and I'll hand it over to Anthony.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for everyone jumping on here. Maybe let's just start with, for those that don't know, what exactly is Level, and what does that product suite look like today?
So Level is a subscription mobile finance app. So we offer checking accounts and we offer Bitcoin, which are we think are two of the really essential features of a modern consumer financial experience, rolled into one product with a flat business model of $9 a month and no hidden transaction fees. Got it.
And Jimmy, Tone, Willy, Josh, a bunch of you guys are very well known. I feel like I'm doing a roll call there. A bunch of you guys are well known in the Bitcoin space, and obviously very excited. Maybe you guys can go one by one and just kind of quickly talk about what is it about Level that you think is different or exciting compared to all of the other products that are out there.
I'll start. And for me, Level is the Coinbase killer. And I've been wanting something like that for a long time. And I'm not going to, sugarcoat that or anything. I really don't like what Coinbase is doing. I think they screw over their customers. They're a shitcoin casino. I would like to see them dead. And this is why, I'm so excited about a product that is better from a consumer point of view, from the ecosystem point of view. They're actually promoting Bitcoin instead of promoting shitcoins. The CEO is not afraid to say the word Bitcoin and so on. So for me, the big value prop of Level is that you can trade as much as you want for a fixed fee. And right now, for a lot of people that want to trade, that want to buy on a consistent basis and things like that, this makes so much more sense. And the fact that there's an autopilot feature, that there's soon going to be the ability to auto convert your Bitcoin to dollars and spend it on your debit card. Those are incredible features that I think will take Bitcoin to the next level, and that's why I'm involved. That's why I'm excited. This is, I think, something that the community can use, that this industry can use, and they'll carry things forward. Unlike the company that I don't want to name anymore.
Tone.
All right. So just like Jimmy, I'm not a big fan of Coinbase. So any company that could do their job significantly better, I am all in on that. And when I saw that Jimmy and Willy Woo, two people that I trust in the space, I guess you guys are advisors to Level, both of you guys. So when I saw them involved in that, internal capacity, that's basically good enough for me to kind of trust it, because I don't trust many companies in the crypto space. So I'm happy to support and have an affiliate code to it, and hopefully, drive some traffic and business to Level out of places like Coinbase.
Awesome. Willy?
Yeah. So, just it seems to me like the whole crypto area is very, very young when you see all the exchanges using such outrageous fees, transactional fees. And, just talking to Chris, realizing that, the actual product that most of finance delivers is digital, right? It's just digital. It's numbers in a database. And why should we be paying so much in fees? So, everything tends to be free if it's digital. And I saw a really good opportunity here where we can build something that, opens crypto up to the mainstream. Part of it is a charging model, which doesn't kind of really disadvantage the mainstream, where, typically in a marketplace, you see the very large money, the institutional money, and professional money being charged 0 fees while everyone else cops it with these high fees. So I think it's just a really nice kind of opportunity to build an alternative, and that's what inspired me to get involved, two and a half years ago. So really happy to have jumped on.
Cool. And Josh?
Yeah, I just think that when it comes to level, it's for the people, right? When you look at Coinbase and some of these other Gemini, some of these other platforms where you can buy big, typically they give better rates to people who have lots of money. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of money, but in the end, if you want more people to get in, normal retail, normal everyday people, you're going to have to cut the fees. You're going to have to treat them equally. And I think with Level, you get that. And so, with me even trading on Level recently, to be able to see how much money you save compared to Coinbase was really attractive. And so I just think that Chris, I've known him for a few years now, been working with him. I trust Chris. I think he's great. I trust the team. And I just think that it's a good opportunity for just everyday people to have that level opportunity that typically the only, quote, wealth get with other platforms.
For sure. And then Chris, Jesse, Evan, maybe one of you guys want to go through, everyone here has mentioned fees and kind of what the advantage for Level there is. Maybe just kind of walk folks through kind of why Level ends up saving people so much money on those fees.
Yeah, so I think the first thing you have to understand is how high fees are in the market today. So if you go on Coinbase today and you buy $10 of Bitcoin, the fee is $1. So that's a 10% effective trading commission. And that's higher than the exchange rate you would see if you're exchanging like cash and some foreign currency at an airport, where you're just totally stuck in that situation. They're the only people that can do it. And so when I think about these exchanges that have transactional business models and particularly focused on higher fees for lower transaction sizes, which is what Coinbase and Gemini do, the way I look at that is it's sort of a noob tax. So if you are trading $100 million a year or trading $100 million a month, your fees are 0. If you're trading $10, 0%. If you're trading $10, it's 10%, and everything in between. Until you're trading $250 or more on Coinbase, you're going to spend more on fees on Level. So, part of it is just this incredible savings opportunity because the margins are so high. It looks a little bit like when Barnes & Noble and Borders had a monopoly on books before Amazon came along. They're just charging outrageous prices on these cryptocurrency exchanges. But it's also about like broadening the base of users. I think Bitcoin, like the internet, is like a once in a generation change that's going to change like business and finance and everything around it. And it seems to me wrong to take who we need the most, the daily consumer, the daily spender, the people that are going to broaden the base of Bitcoin, and fleece them with the highest fees. So what Level wants to do is provide a level playing ground where the same types of tools that somebody, maybe an institutional investor would have, are easy to use for a consumer and affordable to use for a consumer, for no more than you're paying for Spotify.
Got it. And one of the things I think is interesting here, this question for anybody, is there's both a traditional bank account and also the crypto brokerage side for Bitcoin. Maybe talk a little bit about the importance in kind of marrying the legacy world and the new world, and why that's a superior user experience for folks. Somebody's got to answer.
You want to take this, Willy?
I think that question's for you, Chris, because it's more value prop, no?
Sure.
Sorry, guys. I was actually looking at questions in a live chat. Can you just repeat that question?
I was asking the importance of marrying the crypto side with a legacy bank account, and kind of marrying legacy world with new world, and the importance for that, and also the superior user experience it provides.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take this one because it really is central to like what it is that we're doing with the product. And let's start with looking at how it works today. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, you're going to have to start with a transfer of money from your bank account to a platform like Coinbase or Gemini. The minimum hold on those transfers is 6 days. So there's a lot of friction to get money from your bank account onto these platforms where you can buy and hold Bitcoin. And then there's a lot of fees that create friction and really whittle away at your assets, both when you transfer the money and when you start trading. Now, the way I look at it is, if you want to broaden the base of Bitcoin adoption and make Bitcoin healthier, you first have to tackle that, right? Like, you need to be able to buy Bitcoin on demand and exit it on a demand. And that's where having a combined bank account and Bitcoin really, really stands out, because it's 6 days you don't have to wait for the money to move. It's 2% fee minimum that you're not going to have to pay now when you buy that Bitcoin to begin with. And I think another thing that's coming, and that's really on the purchasing side, right? And I think most of it's interesting that you use the word brokerage. I think
spend on stuff like groceries and, you know, Amazon or whatever, is having that ability to quickly transfer between. That makes it more attractive to store, you know, a lot more value in Bitcoin, instead of having a separate bank account, having a custody solution for all your Bitcoin and keeping the two like completely separate. And instead, you could have working capital in Bitcoin and then spend fiat whenever you need it. And basically, this is the, you know, pay for coffee with Bitcoin, but done through the legacy system that we now can do, and that facilitates the ability to save in Bitcoin, and that's for me a huge deal.
I'll jump in on this as well, real quick. Look, I'm the big believer that you need to buy your Bitcoin the way you're probably buying your gold. If you've thought about it, is you go to a shop, you pay cash, you get your gold. Nobody knows you have your gold, and you kind of hide it. That's what many of us did with local Bitcoins. Local Bitcoins is not what it was back in the day, and companies like Coinbase, you know, ended up with a ridiculous valuation, and that's what people want. So as much as a lot of us, you know, the Bitcoin purists don't really want that connection to the banking sector directly, we understand that it's going to happen. And if it's going to happen, it really bothers me that it's a company like Coinbase that goes out of their way to spy on their users, to sell the government, you know, tracking software to profit from their users in that way. And we got to break that up. So if you're going to recommend a company that connects to the banking world, it needs to be at least run by people who are doing their best to help Bitcoin, not help themselves.
Got it. And then Tone, I think you're watching the live stream. Any questions that are coming in there?
A lot of questions around the liquidity. The liquidity coming in. Like, where does LVL source the liquidity? Will there be enough liquidity? I know there were a few people, like early on, like with any startup that goes live, you end up with a little bit short on if you get a lot of demand right away, it's a good problem, but it's also a bad problem because you may not be ready for that demand. So how are the liquidity issues these days is the main question.
Yeah, so let me just start with like how we define liquidity. And then I'm gonna just talk about how that is like affecting the product experience today. So on level, you can only execute trades within 2% of the overall overall market price. And we use a service called Nomics to give us like an estimate of sort of like what is the prevailing price, and we execute orders within that band. So liquidity for us is easy to define. It's just how much sell inventory is within 2%, how much buy inventory is within 2%. Now, the way that we deliver liquidity is really different from conventional exchanges. You know, something like Coinbase is a two-sided market, and it's not, the two sides are not buyers and sellers. the two sides are liquidity providers and people that want instant liquidity that pay much, much higher fees, right? That's the traditional market making model. It's how it happens in stocks. It's how it happens on Coinbase. It's how it happens on Kraken. The idea is you give huge price breaks to people that have a lot of money. They go and make standing offers that people can come buy or sell against. And then those people pay large fees to both the market makers and the platform. That is a two-sided market, right? It's like Uber, where you have drivers and you have passengers. With Level, we did not want to have two different, this is really important. We didn't want to have two different classes of customers that are treated in two different ways. That was a big principle that we had with Level. We even put it in the name to like remind us not to break the rule. And so we said, like, how can we provide liquidity in such a way where we're not going to tap high frequency trading firms in Chicago? We're not going to tap like super whales and give them like private price breaks, right? And so what we did is we looked at the technology that people are using to provide liquidity, not Coinbase, but the large institutional traders that are trading on Coinbase, creating liquidity on Coinbase Pro. Same with Kraken, same with Binance, right? What we found is that the state-of-the-art algorithm for doing that makes the most profit, that is the most reliable, it was just like solved 13 years ago. And so really the value that these guys are extracting is their unique access to the market. These people that are sort of on the supply side of this double-sided marketplace. And so we decided to do something like pretty different, pretty risky. What we did is we created a separate account from your typical crypto wallets and your checking account called Autopilot. And what Autopilot does is it tries to hold, you can do Autopilot with multiple cryptos, but let's talk about it like as if you're just holding cash in Bitcoin. Like you're just gonna run Autopilot for cash in Bitcoin. What it does is it holds half cash and it holds half Bitcoin, and it offers to sell the Bitcoin above market price and sell the cash, or buy Bitcoin for below market price, which creates orders that are waiting for people to come and place market orders against. So we've taken the algorithms that these high frequency trading firms use, and we've made it so every consumer on Level can create liquidity. And that's been like super lucrative. I don't know, Evan, if you want to pop up like your Autopilot interface just while we're talking about it. As far as the impact it's had on customers, so we launched July 15th, and the following week was an incredible rush on Bitcoin. And so there were consistent periods of time where we were sold out. I mean, a lot of the people were flowing onto the platform for the very first time. So you would go in and you try to buy Bitcoin and it would say sold out. Now, I'm happy to say for the last 17 days, we haven't sold out of anything. And that reflects sort of a healthy market ecosystem where our Autopilot users are making money. I made 19% last month. Evan made 4% last month. And our consumers are saving money versus Coinbase fees. And so, we sort of ambitiously think that this is ultimately going to be a more efficient marketplace. In 4 weeks, we now have 2% of Coinbase's liquidity. It's very conceivable that this new model could exceed Coinbase's liquidity. And as of today, we are meeting customer expectations that want to buy and sell Bitcoin. We've not missed orders in 17 days.
Yeah, the other thing about Autopilot that's really interesting is that you're getting a return on your money for providing a legitimate service to the community, and that's providing liquidity to everybody else. This is very different than what a lot of other crypto brokerages are doing, which is they lend out your money in order to get a return, and that of course incurs risk, hidden risk that often you don't really know about, though it might be backed and so on. With this, it makes it so that you are getting a return on your money for doing something legitimate, providing liquidity to people that want it. Typically, what exchanges do is they take all of that juice, they take all of the profit off of that, and they take that profit for themselves. What Level is doing is they're giving that profit to the people that are on the platform. So in a sense, the liquidity, at least in theory, should go up as more people sign up, because more people will want to use this feature so that they can get a return on their Bitcoin.
That's right.
Hey, Chris. We have a couple of questions in the live YouTube sheet. Not any questions, but
Great.
people are a little confused on the autopilot. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, and then a specific comment saying my fear is with autopilot is that if the price of Bitcoin would rocket in a bull market when I'm caught on the sold side of the bot trade. So I think people are a little bit confused. So can you just talk about autopilot a little bit more?
Yeah. So why don't you bring up a live demo of autopilot, Evan, and we'll just start on the top screen, and just go ahead and let me know when it's up, because obviously the stream's on a delay. So if you're familiar with the service like Betterment or Wealthfront, the principle behind that is you can put or BlockFi. The principle behind a lot of these services, the user experience that is that you can put your assets on the service and the investments will be managed, or in the case of BlockFi, it will yield interest. And we see this a lot with like DeFi products. So like the central user experience idea is really simple. Put money on autopilot and it will trade automatically and earn an income due to the dynamics that Jimmy just described. And the second part of the question, Tone, I think, so if you're an autopilot, are you going to lose out if Bitcoin goes way up because you're holding parked cash? Did I understand that question correctly?
Yeah, sort of. So, hey, I'm posting all the questions from the YouTube live stream into our Telegram group, so you can always glance on there.
Awesome. I'll pull it up. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with autopilot. So if you're holding cash, that means that you think on a move forward basis that that it is going to be the stable currency. It's going to be the reserve currency. It'll be the least volatile, right? If you're holding Bitcoin, you're basically betting that in the long term, due to policies like quantitative easing, that Bitcoin will appreciate in value. And I saw a great tweet yesterday from like Meltem Demir's saying like Apple's not getting more valuable, money's getting less valuable, which I just thought was like such a fun tweet, right? So those are the two bets if you decide to go all cash or all Bitcoin, right? Now, what autopilot tries to optimize for is holding both. All the time it wants to hold half cash, half Bitcoin. That way, if somebody comes to buy, it can sell them Bitcoin. If somebody comes to sell, it can buy their Bitcoin on a premium. And in that sense, first of all, you're exposed to Bitcoin. And I think it's really important that people understand that. I mean, like Bitcoin, of course, is a risky asset. You should take care in investing in it. And specifically, the way that you're exposed is if Bitcoin goes up by 10%, like autopilot will go up by 5%. If it goes down by 10%, it'll go down by 5% because you're holding 50-50. But in addition to that, you're going to earn income. And the income, so you basically have half the exposure to Bitcoin that you used to have. And then the income happens as people trade. So the bet with autopilot is you're not betting that the dollar will be the strongest long term. You're not betting that Bitcoin will be the strongest long term. You're betting that people are going to trade between the two. That's the bet you're making. That over this transitionary period, over the upcoming like several years, people are going to be exchanging cash for Bitcoin, like for example, to purchase Bitcoin on our platform, Bitcoin for cash, for example, to buy dinner on your debit card. And so I think of autopilot as really a element of a broader portfolio that hedges risk. You've got your cash hedge for absolute rainy day situation. You've got Bitcoin, which is your hedge against like just absurd monetary and fiscal policy. Like, and you know, like imagine a year as crazy as 2020, and the after everything everybody said about Bitcoin, Bitcoin's the one thing that works. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like that's a good bet, and now you get to make this other bet, which is like people are going to exchange between cash and Bitcoin.
I'd add to that. I'd say that, like when I got involved with Bitcoin back in 2013-14, I think the recommendation was to hold maybe 2 to 3% of your investment assets in Bitcoin. I think it's a bit higher now. So if you're going to put money in autopilot, half of that is cash. So, you'd put your cash in there, and then, the 50% that's exposure to Bitcoin is still what you normally would have put in Bitcoin. You're just beefing up with cash, and it's generating revenue for you. In that basket, you're getting, you're exposed to half the volatility. Your risk-adjusted return is higher. And that's what we're mainly interested in, is the return you get for the risk you're taking. Bitcoin is quite a volatile, risky asset, but obviously you get very, very good gains on it. But nobody hardly anyone I know puts 100% of their net worth in it due to that risk. So you can sort of gear that to what is right for you. You can load up more cash in there. I don't think anyone sits around with no cash. So you can compensate.
That's exactly right.
One of the things that hasn't been talked about is the referral codes, and I think that Level has a very interesting kind of viral loop, if you will. Anyone want to kind of touch on that and explain that?
Yeah. So happy to do that, because it's been a big week for this, because we went viral in sort of like a first community of like Facebook and Telegram groups over the last week. So this is like really exciting like development for us. But here's the basic idea. Like, we're going to build a bank that also supports Bitcoin and has no fees. And we think that we can make that the best personal banking experience ever. We're also a business, and we don't make transaction fees. If we had charged 1/4 of what Coinbase had made in transaction fees, we would have made $2.8 million in our first month of launch, right? So we really, really count on broadening the base of subscribers so that we can provide these flat rate services. So we got to get the word out. We have to market about it. So we could market it by running Google advertisements. We could market it by running Facebook advertisements. What we really want to do is invest in the community. So anyone that signs up with Level, you are given a referral link. That is a referral link, first of all, that provides a tangible benefit to your friends and family, because they're going to get $10 when they sign up, unrestricted, instantly available, withdraw it if you want it, right? So you can say, Mom, Dad, it's time for you to have Bitcoin. Here's $10. Just, finish signing up, right? In addition to that, for referring them, as soon as they complete their application, you get $10. And then we also do royalties. So we charge $9 a month, and we give $2 royalty to whoever your referral was in perpetuity, right? So by participating in the referral program, you're pushing forward a viable alternative to Coinbase. You are promoting a product that a broader base of customers can use, because it's based on checking accounts and it's FDIC insured. Maybe something that our parents would feel a little more comfortable using. And it's also just frankly really lucrative. It's worked out well. We find that people that like the product are referring people that also like the product. In the first month, we had people making $1,500 through this referral program. So, I think that referral programs are very common in crypto. I think what we've tried to do in this case is reach a program that would allow us to get to scale, that would allow us to support our customer base, but basically all the value of spreading the word, just like all the value of market making is going to our customers. We want all the value of spreading the word to go to our customers if they choose to do so.
I want to comment on that as well, because when I tweeted out this link, and I also tweeted out my affiliate link to LVL, the first comment I got, actually the only comment immediately, and of course it's coming from an anonymous Twitter handle with numbers on the back of the name, and it says, it's not marketing or paid advertising. And this is what, I built this brand, this YouTube brand, and it's all reputation based. And I literally get requests every day in my email box, in Telegram, everything. Everyone wants to pay me to promote their tokens, their projects. And I don't even respond to most of them. And when I do respond, I just turn everybody down. And I've never been paid directly for anything. No one ever paid me to come on my YouTube channel. I've never been paid to go on their YouTube channel. The only reason why I even have ads on my YouTube channel is because last time I dropped the ads, I got shadow banned on YouTube. So YouTube says that they don't, they promote you all the same if you don't run their ads, but that's clearly not true, and we know that. So I have like one ad in the front, and that's it. So I literally don't take advantage of being an influencer, as I like to call it. The only thing I do is I have affiliate links with companies that I feel are doing a decent job and are not scammy at all. And obviously, Level is one of these companies. Now, if something starts to go bad with any company that I have an affiliate link for, I immediately drop that affiliate link. But considering how 98% of everyone that goes into YouTube, especially in crypto, one of the reasons why they want to get popular is to basically profit from that popularity in promoting anything that pays them. And I don't see how affiliate codes do that, because if you're either gonna pay the whole amount to the company, or the company is gonna give a kickback to the person doing the affiliate code. So you're not creating money out of thin air, and you're not asking your followers to pay anything extra when they use your affiliate link, but they can support you if they want to. It's their option.
And just to touch on the dynamics of that, like you'll see on this stream at the bottom that we have the affiliate links for everybody that's on this call. And basically what you do is you share it with your friends. They get the benefit of receiving $10. You're going to get $10 when they complete their application. And if you choose not to participate, that's totally your choice. About 1 out of 3 customers come in just through positive word of mouth. But we are going to grow if we're successful, and we want to invite our customers to be part of that. Pull up questions.
Oh yeah, we got. I threw in some questions into that Telegram group. Some of them are pretty good. One of them is about like the banking services. So the specific question is, how is the product different to 10x and similar other cards? So I guess they're referring to the future debit card that you guys will be doing. So my answer is going to be, for starters, 10x has a scammy shitcoin, which is why I would never support 10x or MCO or crypto.com. But I'll let Chris go for it.
I mean, so with Level, we've really taken our time, and we've been fortunate to have investors like Jimmy and Willy and Pomp support this along the way. But we're building a U.S. financial institution based in the U.S., regulated by U.S. laws, that offers financial services, including banking. What you'll see a lot with debit card products, especially even from big brands, right, is first of all, they're not your traditional debit card. What they are is, instead of spending from like a checking account where you're not ever going to have any fees or whatever, they're preload cards. So it sort of function a lot like debit cards that you would preload if you bought them at a Walmart or something. So there's fees associated with that. You can't add funds to something like that as quickly as spending directly out of a deposit account. And then the second thing we see with a lot of these debit card programs is they don't launch. Did I lose audio?
No.
Okay, perfect. Like, they just don't launch.
No.
So we've seen some really big multi-billion-dollar valuation companies like launch a debit card, pull it back, launch it again, pull it back. It's really hard to convince like MasterCard to work with you. It's really hard to meet all the requirements. In particular, this requirement Reg E, which protects your consumer rights. Like if somebody steals money off your debit card, right? That's actually very hard to do. I think with Level, what you're going to get is there's no hidden fees. You're not going to have 3.99% fee to load up your debit card. Like, that's not the fine print that we're leaving out, right? You can spend instantly from either Bitcoin or cash whenever you want, and it's accepted everywhere that MasterCard's accepted. And while that sounds fairly simple, I don't think that a card's been delivered to market that like has hit those marks yet. And so we've got about 5 minutes, so maybe we'll do some like rapid fire questions.
Oh, you're only running it 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tone and I are used to like 2-hour shows, so yeah.
I mean, I'm down for that too. Okay, so I've got a list of questions here. I'm going to run through them. So, are there plans for an internet browser interface for boomers like me who hate phones? That's a great question. We'll add a web interface, but one of the things that we wanted to get right with Level is to make security easier. Still just as secure, but easier. So you don't have to use Google Authenticator, and we don't use SMS codes. We use your device as a second factor. So like, I would just ask you to like stretch your boomer comfort zone and like just use the phone just to log in, right? And we will deliver a web interface probably in 2021. All right. Anybody on this call? So I've got a list of questions, but anybody on this call have like a final thing that we want to cover before we wrap up here?
So people are asking about like IRA services, like retirement services. Are you interested in the future of getting into the traditional brokerage market, like offering people to buy stocks, let's say invest in Apple or Tesla if they want? So things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to build the best consumer financial application in the world, both in terms of like user experience, feature set, and business model. And that will involve expanding into those areas. Probably order of operations is like debit card, then we expand to the rest of the United States, credit card, then stocks.
One thing I want to mention is that it's really hard to start a crypto exchange in the United States. There's a reason why so many of the companies move to Europe or to Asia or some other better jurisdiction. It's because the U.S. is very heavily regulated, AML, KYC laws, all sorts of things. And this is why we as customers in the U.S. don't have that much choice. We're forced to use companies like Coinbase or others. And I've worked at some of them. So
for U.S. spot markets, yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that you have more choices is an excellent thing. And one of the things that Chris's vision for this company is to continue to add different services to Level. So I see it kind of like Amazon Prime, where at the beginning it was just to get the 2-day free shipping. Later on, they added like video services. Now you get like Amazon Music. You get lots of other things. I think this is what Level will be. Right now, you're getting crypto trading for $9 a month or whatever it is. You get unlimited crypto trading, but you're also going to get a debit card. You're going to be able to eventually do stuff like trade stocks or put money into other vehicles and be able to balance your portfolio appropriately. And that's the vision of Level, and that's what makes me so excited about having something that really does take it to the next level. You don't hear about any of this stuff from any of these other crypto companies. So I'm excited. I think Chris has the right vision, and it's appropriately big, if you will.
Oh, hey, Chris, any update on more locations? I know New York's going to take a while because of their silly laws, but any updates on jurisdictions?
So that's a super frequent question, and I think most regulated businesses would try to avoid like answering that. We have a goal to answer it soon, and I can give you some details. We're gonna. I know it sounds contradictory. We're gonna break it into 2 blocks. We're gonna launch in 9 states first, and that's gonna expand us from 65% of the U.S. population to 85% of the U.S. population, and then after that we will launch another 14 states. The exact which states they are and the exact time frame that we launch, we're going to disclose soon. We're actually actively working on just getting enough confidence around it where we're not going to disappoint people by setting expectations, right? So we'll let you know soon. I would say within a month or two. And in any event, we'll be supporting 20% more Americans within the first half of 2021. So I just want to wrap things up. And Jimmy, I thought you did such a great job of just like sort of like talking about like what the longer term vision is here. And the way I feel just as a consumer of personal finance myself is it's just this absolute maze. Like, I've got stuff on Wells Fargo, I've got stuff on Coinbase, I've got stuff on Binance, I've got stuff on Robinhood, I've got stuff in a Betterment account. And moving stuff between those things incurs transaction fees. And all of those products are littered with hidden fees, right? Profits that people are getting paid from market makers in the case of these, commission-free brokerages, right? Or the transaction fees that we talked about with Coinbase as an example. We have a vision that you'll have one app that allows you to easily navigate your personal finances and meets the highest regulatory standards in the world. So if that's something that might be interesting to you, and if you just want to start, if you trade more than $50 of crypto a day, or more than $200 a month, we're going to save money on Level. So if you're excited about that possibility, and you think that together we can build a bank that is owned collectively by the users, right? That is not a maze that we're filtering users through to clip them on fees. What I ask is that you support, your favorite content creators, use their affiliate codes to sign up for Level, and that will grow the base of Level customers, make us stronger, and allow us to offer all of the financial services that you use today in one app at no fees. And so I just want to say thank you so much to Jimmy, Tone, Pomp, Willy, Josh, Jesse, and Evan, who put this together behind the scenes, and invite everyone to stack sats on Level.
All right. Thanks for putting this together. Really cool.
Appreciate your time.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you, Pomp.
Awesome.
Fiat the best.